Welcome. We're going to get straight into the practice, so let's start in a seated position. Get comfy and go ahead and shut down the eyes. Just take a moment to settle. Start to bring a sense of presence towards your body. That's to say you're becoming aware of just what's happening now within the body. So as you start to feel into the body, try to leave it as just the sensed awareness of the body. Nothing more than that, just the senses are being utilized to feel into the body. And as you find this level of presence within the body, start to lift a little through the lower back. Start to lift the crown of the head. And yet let the shoulders and jaw completely soften. Start to take your attention down towards your belly and start to feel the movement of your breath. And as you feel the movement of your breath, let this slow down the pacing of the mind with it. As you become sensitive to this process that's happening now, you start to attach your attention to that. And with that, the content of the mind starts to strip back a little bit, it simplifies. And so all the extra stories that come with thought patterns start to just fade away a little into the distance by simply bringing more of your focused attention onto your breathing. As you're starting to deepen your breath now, breathing down to the belly, letting it rise to the chest and then slowly taking your time with the exhalation, start to let the slowing breath become that means of focus within your body. And with that focus, you bring a kind of attitude with your attention, a feeling of calmness, of nurturing, of compassion towards the body, a sense of understanding is going with what you're doing. And in this, you're opening up a channel of communication with your body that becomes reciprocal. You're listening to whatever's going on within the body and responding with a kind of loving awareness, a tenderness and an intimacy. I'm just going to take a couple more of these kind of felt breaths with an attitude behind them. And then take that rhythm of breath and add movement to it in the same manner. So as you blink open the eyes, roll over the knees, come into tabletop, all fours, and start to move with your breath. So an inhale to press your belly down, an exhale to arch up through your spine. And you're starting to move your body in coherence with your breath, with your conscious attention, with your kind of very intimate attention with your body. And still, all the information that you're looking for about yourself is right there, contained in the present moment for the context of the practice. So taking just 2 more rounds with breath, moving the body, moving the spine, and then coming up into downward facing dog, tucking the toes and lifting up the hips. And as you get into down dog, again, you're feeling into the shape. You're moving the breath into the body as you move the body. One more deep breath here. And then start to walk your hands back towards your feet into a forward fold. A little bit of a bend in the knees and sort of swaying the body from side to side. So all these initial positions, just kind of moving through them very slowly and fluidly. Just feeling out the body, but getting it moving. Let's take a breath or 2 more here. And then roll up your spine through to standing. Reach up and stretch the arms up at the top nice and high. And go ahead and interlace the hands behind the lower back. Roll back the shoulders and fold forward. Big bend in the knees, lifting the hands. Just 2 more breaths here. And releasing the hands down to the ground. Walking them out to plank position, shoulders above your wrists. And then lift the hips back up into downward facing dog. And just going through high plank 2 more times. Coming forward. The exhale to go back. Rounding through your upper back through high plank. And coming down through chaturanga until you're flat onto the ground. Taking the hands off the side of the mat. Lifting the chest up into cobra. And then lowering straight back down as you keep on going with your breath. Couple more rounds, lifting and lowering through the spine, or the chest rather. Waving through the spine. Keeping the feet nice and pointed and the thighs active. Just take 1 more round now. As the chest comes down, go ahead and interlace your hands behind the lower back. Lift the chest and legs up off the ground. And lower down. Just 1 more of those, and now we hold. Inhale, lift the chest and legs. Hold for a moment. Look down to the ground for 1 more big breath. And release. Hands underneath the shoulders, either pushing up through plank or back through tabletop and into down dog. And again, walking the hands towards the back of the mat. This time as you arrive, take a halfway lift to lengthen. Left hand down, right hand up to the ceiling into a twist, but we'll keep on moving straight away. Right hand comes back down. Inhale, left hand moves up. Side to side now. Left hand down. Inhale, right hand comes up. And right hand down for the last one here. Left arm coming up to twist. And then placing the hand down, rolling up through the spine, all the way through to standing. Reach up and stretch up nice and high. And 1 more time, catching the hands behind the lower back, rolling back the shoulders and folding forward. Really drive the hips back as you fold. Lifting the hands for just 2 more breaths. And release. Hands to the ground. Walk them out to plank position. Shoulders above your wrists. Straight through a flow. Chaturanga. Finds upward facing dog. And finds downward facing dog from there. Lifting up the hips. And just taking 1 more deep breath in down dog. And lift the heels, bend the knees, and lightly step to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift, flatten your back. Fold in. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach for the ceiling, nice and big. And folding straight back down now to take 1 more round of a flow. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back to plank. Chaturanga finds upward facing dog. Finds downward facing dog. Lifting up the hips. 1 more big breath here in down dog. Just take the feet a little bit wider, in fact, now. And as you inhale through to high plank, drop the heels over to the right and raise the left hand up into side plank. Just take 1 more big breath here. And as the left hand comes down, push back into down dog and over to the other side. High plank, heels go to the left, right hand up. And start to push back as long as you can without touching your right hand down until you land into down dog. And we'll do that 1 more time. High plank, heels go to the right, left hand comes up. So really try and push off the right arm as you send the hips back, and at the last moment, the left hand comes down into down dog. And last one, high plank, heels go left, right hand comes up. Really push off the arm, send the hips back into down dog. You got it, step to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift to lengthen out. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach for the ceiling. Catch opposite elbows above your head, feet separated, and lean over to your right. 1 big breath. Inhale back up through center. Exhale to the other side, leaning. Good, back through center and fold forward. It's going to change there, hands to the floor. Halfway lifting, the left foot steps back. Puff the chest out on fingertips. And then gently, gently lower the back knee down. So we're nice and long through the chest and the spine and raising the arms up. Try and pull the elbows behind the head, but keep lifting the chest as you draw the belly in and squeeze your left butt cheek. Now tuck in the back toes here for just one more big breath, holding in the lunge, squeezing the butt nice and tight. And go slow, but as your hands come to the ground, lift the hips and straighten through the front leg into a fold. And we'll do that 2 more times, but nice and slow. Bend the front knee, drop the back, arms up, elbows back, squeeze the butt. And exhale, lift the hips, straighten through both legs as you fold. One more, lunge, drop the back, raise the arms. And exhale to the fold, lift the hips. This time into runner's lunge, bend the front knee, right hand comes up into a twist, lifting the chest a little here so the left armpit lifts a little. But one more breath here. And if you can, straight into wild thing. Otherwise, please step the right foot back on top of the left. Otherwise, behind the left leg, turning the hips, lifting the chest for a breath more here. Now stick with me as you unflip, draw your knee to your nose, right hand down, draw the knee in nice and tight. Inhale to lift the leg up and step to lizard. Right foot outside your right hand. As you get here, just make it a really loose lizard. So some hip circles maybe, forward and back. Maybe you drop the back knee, but try not to stay still here. Get a bit of wriggle going. Just feeling it out. 2 to 3 more breaths now. And super gently up to a squat, but really take your time with it. Stepping the left foot outside the left hand, slowly sitting the butt down just so the hip doesn't jam up. And then as you arrive, lift the chest, squeeze the elbows. 2 more breaths here, sucking the belly in as well. And as you're ready, come through a flow. Hands to the ground, step back into plank. Chaturanga finds upward facing dog. And lifting the hips into downward facing dog. As soon as you're there, high plank, come forward, heels over to the left, right hand comes up. Now a little extra. Tap the left knee to left elbow, pull it in. And as you step the foot back, push into down dog, lifting the hips. One more. High plank, heels go right, left hand comes up. Now a little tricky. Right knee comes into the elbow, tap, hold. And as you push back, left hand comes down, right foot comes down, down dog. And nice easy step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to stand up, reach up for the ceiling. And exhale to fold in. Hands coming to the ground. Right foot now stepping back. Puff the chest out on the fingertips. You want to get the length through the spine here. Back leg 2, and then squeeze the right butt cheek now. Don't let it go. Drop the back knee. Raise up the arms. Still got the butt. Raise up the arms. Elbows behind the ears. Holding, butt still on. Belly in a little bit here. An extra breath. Keep the back toes tucked. And as you fold forward, hands to the ground, lift the hips. And straighten through both legs. 2 more. Bend the front knee. Drop the back, squeeze the butt. That's critical. Raise the arms. And exhale to fold. Hands to the ground. Lift the hips. 1 more. Bend the knee. Drop the back. Arms up. Squeeze back the elbows. And into the fold last time here. Now, simple twist. Bend the front knee. Left hand up. Hold here, and again, the right armpit lifts a little, so the chest comes up, you push the ground away. 1 big breath there. And then either side plank or direct to wild thing, stepping the left foot over, rotating the hips, lifting the chest. A breath more here. As you unflip, left hand down, tuck knee to the nose, pull it in tight. Inhale, lift the leg up, and we come up to lizard. Left foot outside the left hand. Your type of lizard here, so maybe some hip circles, forward and back a few times, just feeling out the hips. Couple more deep breaths. Nice and slow on the breath too. Belly soft, and let's keep moving. Step up to a squat. Right foot outside your right hand again. Watch the closing up of your right hip as you sit the butt down. Chest up. Breath or 2 more here. Belly in. And I mean, it's early days for an arm balance, but if you're terribly comfortable with crow, it might be nice to take it through a flow, short, snappy sequence. So if you like, knees in, heels up, feet up, and as you're ready, through a flow, chaturanga finds up dog, and up dog finds downward facing dog, lifting up the hips. 2 more breaths there in down dog. And right leg raises up, stepping through and raising up the arms into crescent lunge. As you exhale, hands to prayer, turn to your right and hook your left elbow around the knee. Now really turn back your right shoulder here, keeping the back leg nice and firm, engaged. Just 2, maybe 3 more breaths here now. Now, a little tricky here. Look down to the ground, send the front knee a little further forward, and when you can, pick up the back foot, hover it just for a moment, and tap left knee to the back of the right calf. Super slow, standing splits, hands to the ground, shoot the left leg up, lift the knee up a little higher, bend the top knee, and potentially you think about grabbing the foot. Otherwise, it might be pretty tender little position for right now. We take 2 more long breaths wherever you're at. And as you step back, find warrior 2. Open out the arms, straighten through the front leg and reach up and back. And as you reach forward now, find triangle. 2 straight legs, right hand comes down, left hand moves up. Breathing here, keeping the chest turning up to the ceiling. Back leg nice and firm. Breath or 2 more now. And inhale to stand up. Bend the front knee. Reach the right hand up and back, reverse. Back into warrior 2. Interlace hands behind the lower back. Heel toe the front foot out, humble warrior. Lift the chest up. And then bow deeply inside the front leg, hands lifting. 2 to 3 more long, slow, steady breaths here. And hands come down to the floor. Skandasana at the back of the mat. Bend the back knee, straighten through the front leg and lift the chest. 2 more big breaths here if you can, hands to prayer. Front toes lifted. 1 more generous breath here now. And as you walk the hands to the top of the mat, again, lizard lunge. So right foot is outside the right hand. And this time, keep the back knee lifted. Puff the chest out as far as you can go. And think about how long you can make your front body. So if you wanted to take this a little further, walk your hands out in front of you. Come up onto the fingertips and start to drop the chest. It's a pretty deep little shape here. So maybe forehead comes down to the ground at the extreme end. But again, the whole point is the back leg is nice and firm and toned. We'll just take a breath or 2 more now. Nice big shape, and sort of just like before, wild thing. Right foot, front foot steps over the left leg, turning the hips, lifting the chest. A breath or 2 more here. Now, an opportunity for koundinyasana if you're familiar. As you unflip, right hand comes down, tap right knee to right elbow. Either hold there or bend the elbow, stack the knee, and push forward off the back foot for a breath or 2 before you find 3-leg dog and gently step the foot between the hands. Hopefully you're still with me into crescent lunge, arms up. Interlace the hands behind the lower back. Roll back the shoulders. Chest up. Now take your time here into warrior 3. Chest comes forward. Again, all about body weight distribution. Back leg is nice and firm here, stiff. Pushing body weight forward, feeling your balance every moment. And then at the right time, lifting the leg, holding, kicking, belly in nice and firmly here, and take maybe 2 more breaths. Keep lifting the hands away from the lower back. 1 more breath now. And then step up. Release the arms, feet together. Raise, reach up. And exhale to fold forward. We come straight through a flow. Another opportunity for crow, or please take it straight away. Step or jump back. Chaturanga. Up dog finds downward facing dog. Lifting up the hips. 2 more breaths there in down dog. Left leg up, inhale. Step the foot in between the hands for crescent lunge, arms up. Hands to prayer. Turn left, hook the elbow. Exhaling as you're twisting. We're not in these shapes for long, so nice and slow with the breath firstly, but keep the integrity of the shape. Back leg firm. 2 more breaths. Now take your time here. A little tricky on the balance. We want to just feel a body weight distribution. Bringing the weight forward, bending the front knee more, bringing it forward, forward, forward. Lifting the back big toe just off the ground, wobbly a little. Tap the knee to the back of the left calf, hold. And into standing splits. Hands down, leg up. Lift the knee immediately, bend it, and think about grabbing the foot with the left hand and really relax the neck a little here. Smooth out your breath. 2, maybe 3 more now. Keep the leg lifting, butt squeezing. 1 more breath as you step back into warrior 2. Opening up the arms. Flip the front palm and reach up and back, straightening through the front leg. And as you reach forward now, find triangle. Reach out, bring the left hand down, right hand up. Again, not a long hold, so we make the best of it, we make the most of it. Back leg super firm. Breath is already moving deeply into the belly. 2 more breaths here. Coming up through warrior 2. Bend the front knee, stand up, flip the front palm and reach up and back. Back into warrior 2. Interlacing hands behind the lower back. Front foot out to the edge. Back foot turns in. Lift the chest as you inhale. And then fold and bow inside the front leg. Now really try and get low here. Drop the chest. Breathe here. Back leg super firm, hands lifting. 2 more breaths to go. Hands on the floor. Skandasana at the back of the mat. Drop the butt to the right heel, lifting the front foot, chest up. A little bit of weight down into your right heel here. 2, maybe 3 breaths more. And as you walk the hands back to the top of the mat, we have a look for this kind of stretched out lizard. So it can be really nice to actually try and hug the front knee in a little more. Knee pretty much above the ankle. And then walking the hands out, keeping the back knee lifted, the back leg super firm. Breathing here, holding here. Steady, slow breath. So the back leg is doing quite the bit of work for 1 more deep breath. And then hands coming underneath shoulders to find a wild thing. Left foot steps over the right leg, turning the hips, lifting the chest, open up here. 2 more breaths and take your time with it, but kind of swiftly as well. Left hand comes down, tap the left knee to left elbow, shift body weight forward straight away as you bend the elbows into koundinyasana, shifting, hold, and then 3-leg dog. Left leg up, and as you exhale, step the foot in between the hands for crescent lunge. Exhale through to arrow head, and in this position, interlace the hands behind the lower back. Roll back the shoulders and take your time with warrior 3. Stiffen the back leg. Shift more body weight forward, and as you come off the back foot, you feel the front big toe do a little more work. Belly in. Legs straight at the back. Hands lifting. 2 more big breaths there. And step up to stand up. Feet together, arms up, release. Exhale to fold forward. And coming through a flow. Halfway lift, inhale. Step or jump back into chaturanga. Up dog, pull the chest through. And into downward facing dog, lifting up the hips. And as the hips come up, go ahead and sit down onto the heels. And just take a few moments with the eyes closed. Over the next 5 or so breaths, on every exhale, just slow it down like 5%. Doesn't have to be much, but slowing it down, smoothing it out. guiding the heart rate down gently, and again that kind of infusion of attitude behind all the actions that you're taking with the body. Breath is that kind of carrier of the attitude, as long as it's got that kind of delicate slowness to it. And we'll keep this nice little rhythm as we come into camel. So lifting the hips away from the heels, hands to the lower back, squeeze your butt, lift up the chest. You might tuck the toes and bring the hands straight down to the heels, but try and squeeze your butt, lift up the chest. 2, maybe 3 breaths there. And lifting up nice and slow. So again, sit down onto the heels. As you arrive here, place your right hand out to the side of the hip. Maybe the elbow comes down, but left hand up and over into a nice big side bend. Now, try not to crunch too much into your right side. So maybe you do stay on the palm and lift a little through the left side body. We try and just take 2 more breaths here. Hopefully your left butt cheek is still on your heel as well. Little tilt back on the shoulder. Let's stay for 2 more from there because that feels really good. And then lifting back up, pushing off the right hand into the other side. Left arm nice and tall through the spine. So it's not all about just how far down you can go here. You just got to find little sweet spots along the way. You're going to be kind of tender in different areas through your side body. And as you change the geometry, the angle of kind of how far down or up, it's not about the depth, but just changing the angle to find a sweet spot through the body. You take breath here. Nice and smoothly, tilting back a little. Another couple of breaths at least. And then back through center, taking the legs out to the side and then out in front of you. Just give the legs and the lower back a little bit of a shake, make sure everything's comfortable and settled. And then toes up, arms up, and reaching as far forward as you can to then come down towards the legs into Paschimottanasana. Once you're there, keep a little bit of lift through the lower back. I hope you can see the difference there. That's sort of rounded, not so much what you want. A little bit of lift through the lower back, but the upper back can really soften quite a lot here. And we regulate the breath. You take it down a notch here. Just 5 or so here. One more long breath and relaxing the shoulders completely for that breath. And lifting up the chest, and we'll bring the soles of the feet to touch, knees dropping out to the side. Interlace the hands on the ends of the feet so you can really puff up the chest a bit more. And then pull the chest forward as you bow forward. Softening the shoulders from there, and maybe there's a little bit of pressure of the elbows, but you don't want to press so much that the hips are fighting back. Just watch that kind of open communication with the body. Keep it open, don't be forceful. Let the body have its say in how slowly it wants to open. Just a few more breaths here. Always welcome to explore the shapes as much as you want. So it might be nice to take the chest to one side and then the other. As long as you've got a bit of length through the lower back, all good to explore. Two more breaths now. And lifting up the chest. Draw the legs together, roll down onto your back, and as soon as you get there, lift the legs up. You're welcome to take any other inversion, but Won't be here for long, so hands underneath the hips, just letting their hips rest on the back of their hands. There's a bit of a prop, relaxing the belly, breathing nice and smoothly and softly. As you release the hands, release the legs nice and slow, bringing them down all the way to the floor. And just a little jiggle of the butt there, making sure the lower back's nice and released. Then take an eagle wrap on the leg. So wrap your right leg over the left, drop the legs over to the left, right shoulder opens to the side, and just maybe 5, 6, 7 slow breaths here. Each exhale allows the knees to get a little heavier and the belly to relax a little more. Coming back through center and onto the other side. So left leg wraps over the right one, taking it down. Again, utilizing every breath, maintaining presence within the body, maintaining the nurturing attitude in every action. Breath is your first action here, your first priority. Posture following that, really as a result of that. And then coming back up through the center, hugging the knees in towards the chest, and coming down towards Savasana. If you can try and give yourself at least 4 minutes of Savasana, that would be, I reckon, a really good number to start with. If it's less, it's less. If it's more, then go you. Either way, try and give yourself just a little bit of time here in stillness, even if it's a few moments. Let the body just experience the feeling of stillness and quietness. Try not to let any urgency in your mind take you away from these few moments here. So again, a practice of presence, and that's just to say, to be engaged with what's happening right now. I love you and leave you. Say namaste to you. Thank you so much. Pleasure and an honor as always. I'll see you next time.